Guys, welcome back. How are you doing? Your favorite show is back. I think I can confidently say that because I can tell that my small audience that is very awesome really likes the show, and that's incredible because I've been getting a little bit crazier lately, a little bit friskier lately. I think it's the energies. How are you doing with the increase in the energies on the planet? And yeah, you can measure the damn energies as well. All these solar flares. We just had an X-class solar flare, so it's like C-class is the smaller solar flares, then an M-class, which is 10x of a C-class, and then if you 10x an M-class, you get an X-class, which are pretty rare. And we had one that was the biggest ever a couple days ago. So how is you doing with the space weather? You're like, hey mate, I can barely handle regular weather, let alone space weather. Man, what is going on? Well, we're going to the golden age. How have you guys been doing? How are you going and flowing? What is you be knowing? I bet you probably don't know that much about what I'm about to get into, especially as it relates to the operacja. Yeah. And I might also get into analog today too, because I wanted to get into the very advanced features of operator in analog. Now you don't need to know these features. So right there, clear any anxiety that just came up. Like, oh man, I just finally thought that I knew how to do the operator in analog, and now he's telling me there's hidden features, and I don't want to know anymore. You don't actually need these, but they're very cool. Gonna start an operator, gonna make some good sounds, might make a couple of different types of sounds. We've kind of brushed over this stuff in operator a little bit, but it's a way you can use operator to make the sounds extra unique, extra FME. And in analog, there are some sliders that I don't think anyone plays with, and they can just make very interesting sounds that don't just make it sound so bread and buttery analog or bread and buttery operator. So that's pretty exciting. Let's get into it. First of all, I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I've realized that I am so grateful to be able to just have this fun occurrence, this unique opportunity to have people enjoy and get a lot of benefit out of what I'm doing, what I'm talking about. I always wanted someone to listen to things that I had to say, and I always wanted to teach people and tell people about things that I really liked, and I really didn't have anyone to tell any of that stuff to, basically forever until now. So thank you. And to be honest, yeah, it's pretty cool because I don't know, one of my sisters, my younger sister, I've got two. She said at one point, she's like, yeah, you were always wanting to talk to people, tell us about stuff you were really interested in and stuff. And I'm like, yeah. I was about to say something, but anyways, let's get into it.
I just want to say I went over to Gemini's NFT page over on OpenSea, and I just want to say that I bought a few of these NFTs to support this young man you may not know. In addition to loving his Ableton, he is also a 3D computer graphics artist. Yeah, that's all the thumbnails made by that wonderful Gemini guy. Although he doesn't actually refer to himself as Gemini, but you should go over there and help this man out. It is verifiable, so if you want to own SDHO 59, it will say you own a blockchain, have that, because you have that NFT and a lot of other goodies, as you will see. Follow me, let's go to the SDHO show. Wonderful.
So let's hit a note on our operacja. Oh, it's just a sine wave. And someone said, hey mate, why don't you go over to the audio effects and why don't you drop a spectrum so I can see that shit? Why did you forget that shit? No, not to spectral time. You know what that actually means? We should try to figure out a way to use spectral. Whenever I like try to click on a thing and I click the wrong thing, I'm always like, oh yeah, spectral time, I haven't used that in a while. Oh yeah, spectral resonator, I haven't used that in a while. And I'm like, it maybe means you should, especially spectral time, it gets kind of weird. Whatever, we need Spectrum. And it's kind of good if you put the Spectrum at the end, because then like when it goes through all the effects, you know, because like sometimes like if you've got like the Spectrum over here and then you've like got some things, you can like miss out on some things. So just put it at the end or not. So we've got our operator. So I'm gonna start off and just make a kick drum. And then I'm gonna show you how we can take advantage of this interesting thing that we're doing. So I'm gonna do a sine wave. So we've got this sine wave here. I'm gonna take it down an octave or two. Now, I'm gonna go into, we've got our sine wave, but I'm gonna go to user. Oh yeah, look at all this user stuff, that's cool. Now I'm gonna get rid of all of it. See? Now if I added things. So like we're gonna be doing some of that stuff, which is like, I mean, it's not any like, oh God, no, stop. Go away, please. Thank you. And so when we make a kicky drum, we can really use anything we want, right? So like right now we just have this, right? And so we're gonna go into the pitch envelope, which you have to click this square to get the pitch envelope, and then you have to assign an amount. Let's just put it all the way up. Already sounds a little bit more like a kicky drum. Now, if you go down here, it's saying it's going to start 12 semitones up, which is an octave. Maybe you want to keep it that way. Maybe you want to go to the 24. Now, sometimes I forget. I'll just keep these the same because, like, you can. And then now we've got. Now, if we lower in the decay. Got it. So, it's got a nice little punch. And if we wanted, we could start adding some of these. Someone said, hey mate, that's be hurting my ears. It sounds like a whole bunch of shit right up on chill. Well, why does it sound like, as you just said, shit up on chill? I don't know what that means. It's like every word you just put a C and an H in front of it. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay, whatever. So why does it sound like chit up on chill? I better make sure I'm recording up on chill. Hey, now I'm starting to talk like you. Stop that. Oh, wonderful. It was recording all along. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, part of operator, it can give you really crazy sounds. Like, now you might say, well, that doesn't sound that good. I don't really like, that's not the kind of kicky drum I want to hear. Well, that's when you get the filter involved, silly. But what's so cool is that it gives you this ability to like, and I don't even really care. It's not like I care that much about this. But here's what I'm going to do. Let's filter it out. Well, hey mate, you just got rid of all the good stuff. Now I'm not hearing any of that crazy shit. Now it's just sounding like even worse than before you even added them harmonics. I know you's going somewhere with this. Get to the point, Gemini. You's making me lose me brain. It's I already lost like 80% of me brain. You's not gonna take away the remaining 50% of me brain. Actually, that would be 20%, but that's not even possible. You can have 0% of the brain. Well, so we're in filter, so now let's add an envelope, silly. And then just a decay. Nice little click, huh? Nice little click. Now let's add some filter drive. Oh. Boom, 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 boom. And then that's another good thing. That's another good thing, me friend, is because when you start, or when you like, I don't know, design your kicky drum in Oporezia, you can like play it up and down the keyboard. Wonderful. And then you could, you know, play around with the filter. It's pretty aggressive, huh? It sounds pretty aggressive. And then you could also add some of this. And then, like, you know how we were adding those, like, harmonic keys? Well, like, it's kind of the same thing is, like, if you adjust the chorus. You might say, hey, mate, that sounds like a shit. Well, then add an envelope, silly. So now it's extra punch. Without the B. With the B. And then you could also go into the B and say, no, sine wave, no, sine wave. Listen, you just added, it just got a lot punchier, didn't it? No. You can go to the 32. Wonderful. So those are like the two things that I like. Hey, mate, why would you delete that? It could have taken me 19 million years to finally create that. And you would just create that thing and then delete it? It's just gone forever? What is, you got no respect for the sound design? What is, you some kind of hypocriticalist? No, I'm not a hypocriticalist, but cause that's the joy of sound design, man. Once you like get good at it, like I'm telling you, man, I've probably designed so many great, amazing synths and multi-synths where you're stacking these synths, and then I was just like, whatever, and just like deleted it all. Cause like I know I can create it. Like there aren't mysteries anymore. That was one of the things that got me really excited about learning sound design, is because I was like, I bet you this is not very complicated. I bet you once you get the fundamentals down, you can apply it to any synthesizer out there. And I bet you once you really get going with this, do you like this? Have you heard about this? Once you get going, even if it's a different kind of synthesis, if you just kind of know how it does things or how it like, you know, adjust the harmonics over time, you could then employ all the other stuff and learn it really well, as long as you don't get too tweaked out by the interface. So keep going and flowing. So what is it? These courses down here, it can give it that really cool stuff. And then you can obviously do these user ones, which is really cool. The reason why this is here is because I believe I saved it because I think I liked the sound of this or whatever. So back over on here. Let's get rid of all of this. And now I want to do something. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change this algorithm to this guy. So that means you hear yellow, you hear blue, you hear the purple, and then this orange, because it's on top of the purple over here, it will then modulate C if we want that to happen. Because what I want to do is I want to start with a wonderful whitey noisy, and then I want to add in a tone. Click the fixed. Gonna add a tone maybe on 100 hertz. I don't even know. And so we'll hear both of them together. If we didn't do that, then this, going back to the default, would be modulating A, like what we were doing. I don't want that. I want to hear the individual outputs. I might even want to hear a third tony tone. You know what I is be saying. So that's why I also want to hear C as well. So I want to hear A out, B out, C out, which means I want to go to this one. And then if I want to have a little bit of FM, you know what I mean? If I want to add that to the pot, if I want to add that to the stew, then I'm going to add this D, and I'm going to have it be modulating motherfucking C. You know what I'm saying right up on seal. But not yet. So turn them all off. If it makes you feel better, you can declick them, save some CPU until you need them. And now we've got the noise white. Not the noise loop. That's an interesting. Noise looped almost can like give like weird digital distortion sounds, but I just want the white noise. You know that's what I want. And we're about to get into this, and we're just gonna make a nice droney sound, utilizing what we just kind of went over. That's why I want to start with the kick drum. It was just quick and easy. And then, because I just want like one big long line of note, and I want really good white noise sound. And then I want to add a tone, a pitch, maybe a second one, and I want it to sound very good. And then I want to take that big long note. I want to then add an appreciatia to then make it go note, 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 like a bunch of notes. So it's taking that long note, but chopping up into individual notes. And then I might want to then take other MIDI effects to then make a thing out of it. And then I want to show you possibly closing it out, or the next one, the little special little features that no one uses in analog that can give you very unique sounds. And so I hope you're doing well. How have you been doing? It's been a long time since we've connected because I haven't been on camera in a while. So luckily I'm not too rusty or whatever. How are you doing? How are you going? How are you flowing? How was your day? I'll shut up and listen. Tell me a little bit about it before we jump in. Ooh. Boy, it's a good man. I feel like I can smell it. I'm not even there with you, but I feel like I can smell it almost. So like, because it's cold and it's the winter now, people are not picking up the dog poop in your neighborhood because they're like lazy and like it's cold and it's late at night or not, and they're like, hey, it's too cold, I don't want to pick up me doggy's poo-poo. And now it's like everywhere you look, you're seeing dog shit, and it's making you mad, and it's making you want to go yell at some of these chads that ain't picking up they doggy poopy. Fuck, man. Yeah, man, I hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended, Yeah, it's like, man, I don't like just walking outside and seeing dog poop everywhere. I also don't like seeing trash everywhere. It's like, hey mate, we all live here, Like, pick up your waste. And it's tough. It's tough because I like to wonder why. I like to posit and say, because we're all children of God, doesn't matter skin color, sexual preference, anything. I know they love to divide us on that stuff. All they want to do is divide us, but we're all children of the earth, brothers and sisters, one great big earth family, not even an earth family, galactic, cosmic family, and we got brothers and sisters that are outside the planet as well, waiting for us to awaken to the golden age so they can come down here and visit us, and we can all be part of the Galactic Federation of Light, which you know about that shit. It's like, come on. I know what's going on. It's when people have got too much shit going on in their lives because they feel, all upset about things, last thing they want to do is pick up their dog's poop because they're freezing at night and stuff, and it's like, all right, whatever. My advice, try not to look for the poop, because the more you look for shit, no pun intended, the more you look for shit, the more shit you're probably gonna find. Let's jump into the operacja. Wonderful, wonderful. Now we're gonna have to probably have a note, so let's double click and let's click a note, and it doesn't really matter what note, so you can really click any note. Length, I'll go with the 64. Hit the legato. Don't click play, it'll hurt your ears. Lower the filter a little bit, otherwise you'll be getting all of that. And white noise is all of them frequencies. And click play and tell me how much you love it. I love it. I love it. So if you were like an American, you would just be like, I love it. That doesn't sound very pretty and rhythmic. That doesn't sound very pretty and swathy, but if you say, I love it, it's like, oh wow, that person really must fucking love that. But if you're like an American and you're like me, and you're like, I love it, you're like, do you? You say you love it, but do you? Yeah, I love it. I don't think you do. I love it. And you're like, oh, that mother effer loves that. I can just tell. But, alright, let's get into this shit right up on chair. Click on the beat, tell me what you was loving and floving, and let's add a 100 hertz cycle to this shit. Oh, good. By the way, if you're like, hey mate, I can't hear this shit. I don't know why, but I cannot hear this shit. I see it on your spectrogram, but I can't hear that shit. Well, make sure you got some headphones on, me friend. After all, this is a show about sound. You gotta have headphones on to hear that shit. Let's drop an LFO. Map it to the level. No. Now here's what I wanted to do. Let's put it on user. Let's put on C. Let's do it an octave up, which would be 200 hertz. And let's go into here. Let's map it to C. And if you want, you could like move it up. So like it's not like the same, you know what I'm saying? I actually thought this was gonna sound a lot better, actually. Might as well do that as well. And then we should probably do a little bit of jitsia. And you want to know what? We're going to drop a audio effect on here that I wanted to use because I love it. And when I make drones, I love to add this. It's adding resonators to it to make it sound very good. But before we do go to filter and give it some filter drive, you don't have to. In fact, let's even go through. Nah, we're not gonna do that. So, what was I just saying? What was I just going with that? Guess the device I'm about to drop on here. Go. If you know me, you know what I'm gonna do. Tell me about it. You guess it. Guess it in your head right now. Go. If you guessed Corpus, you were right. Let's see if... Ooh, not gonna use beam, gonna use marimba. Just this. Huh. I normally don't like doing the harmonic one. Sounds kinda good, me friend. Let's try membrane. And let's go into the audio track. Let's go into the audio track. Let's go to the resampling. And let's click the record. Oh, look at that. It is big fat worms or whatever. You've probably got better words than I do. And I like looking at that. It is very interesting to see this one up here is fatter than the one on the bottom. Why is there two? Did you even know why? It's because this fatter one on the top is supposed to be the left channel. The smaller one, it's not that smaller, let's be honest, is the one right there. Right, so you can see it right here. See, this is the left. The left one's higher. I don't even know why. It's kind of pissing me off. Do not ask why. Now we got this right one a little bit lagging. I don't care about that. We could change that if we want that. I don't really know. I think it's possibly because of the corpus. Why? Because I think the corpus with these positions here, I think that's why. Maybe you could do this. Oh yeah, I hear it change a little bit. Now let's see if that changed. Okay, we now to go back in here, go and do the oh look, see, it's evening out. Didn't it? Oh man, isn't it so great when we solve problems? Isn't it so great? Give yourself a hand. Give yourself a pat on the back. You've been through too damn much. You incarnated on this planet because you knew what was happening. You knew that you were going to ascend to the fifth dimension. You knew that you were ascending in consciousness. You knew you were going to have to put up with a whole lot of crap from everywhere, but that it would be worth it, that you would transcend the limits of a human being and embrace and embody your God self, your higher self, your soul, whilst in a physical body, and truly usher in the new golden age. And you would be the first to do it and pat yourself on the back. And you also found Ableton Live in the process. Maybe you found some other things. Maybe you realized you really didn't need any friends all along, that the greatest friend you could ever have is your higher self. And now it's permeating through your beam. Now you're feeling good. And oh my God, where did that come from? Smash a like on yourself. One love. Don't worry, we're not over yet. Let's click stop to this and let's... Wonderful. Boy, I don't know what just got into me right chill. Boy, that Gemini guy, I'll tell you, one minute I'm like, man, I like his Ableton, and then the next thing I'm like, delete. Then the next time I'm like, I don't know what this guy's talking about right up on her, but I do think I like it. And why did we record that? Why did we record that audio? No, not just because we are geeking out about how beautiful it looks. It does look quite good, I must say. Because then we can like click play, go to auto, and can play it. We just times 2'd it. You know what I'm saying? You can also do this. You know what? I don't want that. I don't want it. I don't want it, guys. I just don't want it, okay? I want to be nice, neat, and clean. Nice, neat, and clean. Because now I'm going to show you. Now I'm going to show you the hidden. If you were to come home from school and tell your mom, hey, I just learned the best thing about the analog, this stuff that I can almost promise you ain't no one be knowing and flowing about, she would probably say, what the hell is analog and why are they teaching you about Ableton's analog in school? And you say, it's a lot better than the other stupid ass shit they be teaching us in the schools. Oh, ho, ho! What you know about that? Anyways, hopefully that didn't trigger anyone. Actually, I think the tides are changing and no one's into that stupid shit anymore. So, look at analog. Oscillator 1, filter 1, amp 1. By the way, if amp's not on, you ain't gonna hear shit. You turn on amp 1, you is gonna hear some shit. If you turn off the filter, you'll still hear some shit. If you turn off oscillator 1, you damn sure as hell ain't gonna hear some shit. Now we've got oscillator 1, it then flows into the filter 1, which then flows into the amplifier, and that's what you hear. And then down here, you got the same thing. Oscillator 2, but mine's gray. So get really good at Ableton, find happiness inside yourself, because like everything is fleeting, everything is like diminishing returns. But if you can tap into your soul, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, and find that like everlasting peace and joy, you're not going to care if you look old or sexy or whatever. And in fact, I'm actually really curious to know what society would be like if like sex wasn't advertised to us everywhere. Like, oh, buy these beauty products, and someone's like, I'm so hot with my lipstick and stuff. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, oh, I want to be liked, so I must go buy that lipstick. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like selling that shit to us. You know what I mean? It's so dumb. You know what I mean? And like, don't get me wrong, like celebrate your body, celebrate your looks, wear fancy tight clothes, like just do whatever you want. Like, love it, man. Like, love it. But like, we are being mass manipulated to just be like mindless consumers, and they play on our insecurities. It's pretty sick. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever worked a job in sales, but like one of the big things they teach you is like look for pain points. And I'm like, look for pain points? Or like, yeah, figure out what gives your customer pain and then sell them a solution. You're like, oh, what? Like, oh, that person's afraid of dying, so I'm gonna go sell them life insurance policy. It's just like, that's why do we live here? Like, what's going on, dude? You know what I'm saying, man? Like, oh my God, dude. But it's all changing though, dude. It's all changing. So like, let's turn off oscillator 2, filter 2, amp 2, because you don't need that. And I normally didn't get into that stuff because I wanted to like teach you guys the basics. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on oscillator 2 and we're gonna route it to this. Well, it's already going there. See how it says filter 1 all the way at the top? If it did filter 2, you wouldn't hear it, but it's gonna get routed into filter 1. But before we do that, I just want to kind of take you through this, and then we're gonna then start activating these. And what's really cool about these bottom ones is that, well, first of all, like, we can have a filter. We don't even have to screw with oscillator 2. We can just have another filter down here, maybe even do like a Foreman filter, and then we can route some of this as well. But what happens is like this filter one, see how it says to filter to 100%? That means it's also routing it down chill. You know what I'm saying? Very interesting. I need to take a quick breather break. I'm gonna take a quick breather break, and I want you to ask me a question about Ableton, and I will answer it. And by the way, if you guys are like, oh, he's doing this dumb thing where he's... No, like, there's a thing. Time and space doesn't exist, okay? We're quantum, okay? It exists nowhere. It exists everywhere at once. There is no time. There is no future. What do you want me to talk about? What question you have about the Ableton? Whatever is going to help the most people is going to pop into my head. Tell me about it while I take a little sippy sip, gather me breath, gather me brains, about to drop into the analog, drive you insane. Hey, stop looking for people's max pain, trying to get up into the people's max love. Yous already know about it. Yous already know yous becoming closer and closer to the one love. You know what's going on, connecting with source, higher consciousness, whatever. Tell me about it. What is your Ableton questions? Send it through the brain waves. Send it through the astral planes. Send it through the Akashic records. Tell me about that shit. Is you free in yourself? Is you free in your mind? Are you escaping the detrimental hive mind of what I won't even mention right now because it might trigger some people? I don't even know when this is gonna come out. How is you doing? Is you pissed off? Is it making you want to shout? What is be going on? Ask me the question. You's wonderful. Well, that's a pretty damn good question. Tell me more. Oh, so you heard Ableton Live 12 is coming out. and you don't want to buy it because you would rather put that money into Bitcoin or some gaming token that'll 10x, or so you hope. Do you really need to get Ableton Live 12? What are my thoughts? Well, if you've watched some of the more recent SDHOs, I like it. I was in your camp. I was like, I do not want to buy it. I don't even know what is going to be in it. But yeah, dude, it just generates MIDI patterns for you and just gives you ideas. Sometimes if you have something on the canvas, it's a lot easier to add to it, to subtract from it. Endless ideas. That's what it does. So it'll generate endless drum patterns, endless melody patterns. I love it. And the core device, one of my favorite devices, MIDI Effects, the core device, that got updated in an amazing way. I won't even get into it. I really like it, so I will definitely be upgrading. And it's really cool because like one of these people who I like that's been making a lot of Ableton Live 12 videos, he was like, because like these features, like the purists out there could be like, oh, like you're ruining creativity, you're ruining, and I would have been in that same camp. Like, why am I learning all of this shit from the ground up so I can be in control of everything, and then some like Yahoo down the street is gonna make all this crazy awesome music without not having to learn all the shit that I learned? And maybe it's because I've taken all the emotions out of me being like a music creator person. So like I just look at the technology, I'm like, oh, that's like very beneficial and that's really cool. So like I don't feel threatened by it. You know what I mean? Like I actually, like as a digital artist, I actually love AI and all of like the DALL-E and Midjourney stuff, because like I actually was afraid, and like because like no one looks at my art at all. So maybe you guys can, maybe you can buy some of the NFTs and support me and stuff. You know, I was like actually like a little bit worried that like someone was gonna like find my little hole in the wall and like copy all of my art. And now like everyone can create art. Like you don't even have to copy anybody. Like you if you want like quick art, you can just do it. And it's really cool because like now like no one has to learn Ableton. No one really has to learn digital art stuff. They can just have all the art and all the music generated by AI. And I think that's a good thing, because some people, they don't want to learn all this shit from the ground up. Like they just like, I just need art. Like I need art. I need thumbnails from YouTube videos. I just need like music, you know what I mean? From my like video productions. Like it's really good. And like other times, like, dude, you can have, like, there's a lot of people that, like, when they use Ableton or they use other DAWs, all they're doing is, like, sampling. So, like, they need content to sample, just like digital artists, like, people who are using, like, Photoshop, After Effects, you know what I mean? Like, you need content, right? Now, like, for me, like, I do 3D renderings in Blender, and then that's my content that I then throw into, you know, my digital, like I throw that into Final Cut, and then I do like the kind of stuff you would do in like Photoshop and in After Effects, but I'm using my own renders as like my source material, you know what I mean? So like people, basically whatever, it's all really good stuff. So like let's go to the square wave, turn down the filter frequency. Now what happens? See how I turn off? See how it's going through? Now let's to test that ring, let's do a formant. Hey mate, that's be hurt me ears. Stop hurting me damn ears. It's been taking me years to develop these damn ears. You's not gonna ruin them on one dumbass crazy night of the SDHO. You's better be reckoning on that shit. Let's drop in auto filter. Cool. Now let's go to the oscillator 2, and let's go to this one. Now look, this is going to filter 1, but what if we turn it to filter 2? Actually, screw the formant. It's too crazy. It's too crazy for me. I'm not that crazy, guys, okay? I'm not as crazy as you might think. Notch filter. I really like notch filter. I think I kind of want to modulate that shit right up on here. Okie dokie. Okay, so like you don't have to have this go all the way. So let's play and let's move down. So like oscillator 1. See how it says F1 all the way? We could make it all go F2. So oscillator 1 goes all the way into filter 1, and then it goes to amplifier 1, and you hear it. But, you know, oscillator 1 goes into filter 1, and then it moves 42% of it into the filter 2. And then where does the filter 2 go, man? It goes into the amplifier 2, and then you hear that shit, but you also hear the shit that's coming out of the amplifier 1. And then you go over here into the oscillator 2, and 29% of it goes up to the filter 1, and then 71% of it goes into the filter 2, and whatever goes into filter 1 goes into amplifier 1, and you hear it. But then whatever goes into the filter 2 goes into the amplifier 2, and then you hear it, and then you hear the amplifier 1, and you hear the amplifier 2, and if you want, you could pan this one to the left and this one to the right, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not a psycho, I'm not feeling that tonight. And you got the different levels, and then you've got all of that stupid ass shit. Can you understand? And you can even put on a noise envelope, and it sounds good. Someone said, hey mate, throw a chorus on there. Why is you not throwing a chorus on there? What is you, like an anti-chorus? Just because I didn't throw a chorus doesn't mean I'm anti-chorus, okay? Wow, you guys are ridiculous, okay? You guys are absolutely ridiculous. What cave did you stumble out of? Oh mate, this music to me bloody ears. Let's play with some of this shit right up on chill. Let's take it from the notch pole 4 to the notch pole 2. I don't even know, how is it doing for you? What is be going on? I need to get a little bit more release up on these amplifier envelopes. Give me some more of that release. Quit striking it down, striking me to the streets. I want to hear what it sounds like when we's moving it over down on here. Woo! Put up on that LFO1, go into this, give me a little bit of that pulse with modulation. Give it a little bit of a sub-oscillator, give me a little bit more of that sub, I need a little bit more of that boom boom back up in that truck, give me some of that rock. Did you even know that this shit would sound this good? Yes, this is that analog. You can thank me later for showing you all of that shit. Give it a little bit of a detune because you can. God bless yourself. You is be doing what you can. Fuck the man. It's trying to enslave you with the top-down control structures. That's the Capricorn. Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. The great financial crisis has it be setting you straight. Some say that was the death of the real economy, still reverberating into this day, modern age. But you already know that shit. And Pluto is moving into Aquarius next year, 2024. We is gonna be a lot more freer, decentralizations, communities, less top-down power. You is not gonna take me liberties, me civil liberties. I be sick of that shit. You's profiting off of that shit. You will never get another fucking dime out of me mind. I'm gonna be dropping that on you, be making you lose your mind, making you go insane this time. We's be taking the power back. God bless yourself. God bless one another. God bless the Ableton Lords. God bless your family. Hopefully you is still close to them. Hopefully you is still got a family. Hopefully it is all going good. Hopefully you is not misunderstood. anyways, thank you for days. I really appreciate you, appreciate all of you. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for making this a fun show that would have never happened if any of you wouldn't have turned in, wouldn't have turned up, wouldn't have smashed it up. Thank you very much. Thank you for days. You've got me in a good haze, the bestest of haze. Just want to thank you for days. Hope you had fun learning all about the different ways that we can make extra advanced features, situations, modulations, and all the other stuff that we be doing today in the operator, in the analog. If you loved it, please smash it up. And I hope you enjoyed all of that. I hope you have a good night. I hope you bless yourself. Be well. Sleep tight. 2024, as I was mentioning, with Pluto moving out of Capricorn, where it's been since 2008, into Aquarius, where it will be for the next 20 years. Some say the true beacon, some say the true bellwether of moving into the age of Aquarius. What you know about that age of Aquarius? I know you got it like that. The golden age is upon us, the Satya Yuga. What you know about it? What's it gonna be doing to ya? How are you doing? How are you going and flowing? I hope you've been well. I hope you ain't hurting and moaning, but it will get better. Keep it up, smash it up. Be good to yourself, be good to one another. Thank you, thank y'all. Thank you very much, and to all a good night.